American if it wasn't for Texas.
I see Arizona stars from here.
For true warriors, there is only now. The path before them, the task at hand, the glory these teams have known before, inspires them now. They still believe they are destined to make the playoffs. Such is the will of warriors. Until their last breath, they will fight.
In the beginning of football time, there were many amateur teams, but only one team could make it to the professional standpoints and call themselves the Cardinals. The Chicago Cardinals were the first to ever have a team logo.
A man named Chris O'Brien founded the amateur team who played in Normal Field and soon named them the Normals in the year of 1898. O'Brien decided that these players needed a team coach, and he soon took the position.
After playing with O'Brien as their coach, they decided that they needed jerseys to separate their team from the others. O'Brien bought these jerseys, and these jerseys would soon become the official team colors for the Normals.
The jerseys they bought were from the University of Chicago in 1901, which happened to be the color of a faded maroon that O'Brien declared as Cardinal Red. In the 1920s, the logo consisted of the Chicago C in Cardinal Red, and they named themselves the Chicago Cardinals. The logo was just the C for Chicago, with a small c in it for the Cardinal name. The color was a dull red color that didn't catch too much attention for the team as a whole.
A few years down the road, the team had changed their location from Chicago to St. Louis. As the team moved to St. Louis in 1947, the team had another logo change, and they had added the state bird to their jerseys. The color of the bird was a faded red, almost like an orange color, and the football was completely white. This logo had a lot of detail that went into it, including the stitching on the football as well as the details on the bird. At this time, these logos were only able to be placed on the team's jerseys. It wasn't until the 1960s that the teams were able to put their representation on their helmets as well.
The team logo went through another change in the year of 1960, and it was changed to be just the head of a cardinal bird. The bird itself was being mocked as a canary, and therefore the logo was changed for the last time in 2005 to a sleeker-looking cardinal after being moved to Arizona, which is the logo we all know today. The canary bird has a slender, small head and has many curvatures, which is why the head of the third logo change was mocked at first. Besides the color of the bird in cardinal red, the canary is almost an exact replica of the logo used to represent the Cardinals.
There have been some changes to this head, though, over the years that have made our team's logo go from dull to intense, and we would like to tell you how.
The color of red itself is a very intense, malignant, and intimidating color, as was pronounced in class. The logo also went from having many curvatures to having very straight, bold, and narrowed lines to intensify its features. They changed the angle of the head to look down instead of straight ahead, almost as if our team was looking down on all the others. The eye was redesigned to look fierce in the eyes of our opponents by making the eye itself bigger and surrounded by dark, straight colors.
Also, to make our logo stand out just a tad bit more than had already made it, they outlined the entire head with a bold black line that made the new design that much more intimidating. The beak was made slightly bigger to match the size of the new cardinal head, and it was also made a darker shade of yellow so that it would no longer resemble that of a canary.
All football teams have their own logos, and as a culture that has a high interest in football, we associate these logos to where our home football teams happen to be. Almost every state in the 50 United States has a professional football team which are a part of NFL and compete for the championship at the end of every season. Football is almost a culture in itself to American citizens. We, in America, glorify our sports teams by putting their logos all over our clothes and buildings, billboards, hats, shoes, cars, etc. Their logos are what make them stand out to us as being a team, and they have been designed and redesigned to fit the persona of each team and their team names. We have created mascots to resemble those of our logos to make the sport of football that much more involved as a whole and more intensified as well. We bring these logos to life every day, and we show it in our mascots or even on ourselves at times.
As a result of these logos being advertised most places people tend to go, we are able to identify where we are location-wise by the logos of the teams.
Team logos have a lot of thought that go into them. People design them and redesign them until they have found the perfect yet intimidating aspect of them. And it is this design in which we look to be able to win our championships and to help us locate where we are and to ultimately represent us as a state or even as a nation.
We wanted to go into detail about the Arizona Cardinal logo, the one that we all know from our generation, and explain to you all why they changed the image so slightly, but how it made a huge difference in the team we all know and love.
Our team has gone through changes every year with new team members, new rules to the game, ups and downs when it comes to winning or losing. But in the end, they are still able to wear that cardinal red and represent the team in which they should be proud to play for.
The Arizona Cardinals wear their colors and their team logos with pride and with all the efforts that have been done to make this perfect logo for the team. So do all their fans.
Go Cardinals!